Welcome back, coin roll hunters. Thanks for joining me, Matthew, the great coin roll hunter, for another exciting episode of Big Money, the show that takes our favorite coins and currency and puts them under the microscope. Today we're going to do some more birding as we look for a bird on the Minnesota State Quarter. And if you're new to the show, just watching for the first time, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell because you're not going to want to miss another episode. Also, if you'd like to try this for yourself at home, check the descriptions for this video below, where I've included an Amazon affiliate link to the same exact USB microscope I use here on the show. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, if you followed our adventures yesterday, we did some coin roll hunting. And we got lucky. We actually found a Minnesota State Quarter on an ender, no less. Those are the coins that you can see right there on the end of the rolls. I'm going to bring that up for us now. All right, here we go. So this is actually the same coin that we pulled out of that roll. And I'm going to leave a link to that video if you want to join along in the hunt. So here we go. Just getting sick here trying to get it in focus. All right. So here we can, you see the Minnesota State Quarter. This design was actually designed and engraved by a man named Charles Vickers. Now, Charles served in the 101st Airborne Division, and after his service, he studied intensely at his craft. First attending the Art Students League, then the Frank Riley School of Art, and attending the Pratt Institute and the School of Visual Arts. So he just invested the time and the energy it takes to master his craft. After which he joined the private Franklin Mint in 1976. And then finally moving on from there in 1985 after holding a position as senior sculptor. So very cool. Charles became part of the engraving staff at the Philadelphia Mint in 2003 and has since retired. But we'll just take a look at his design here. As you can see, you'll notice two dates on this design for Minnesota. The top date is 1858, and that was the year that Minnesota was granted statehood into the Union, which occurred on May 11th of that year. The lower date is 2005, which was the release year of this Minnesota design. Minnesota was the second design released in the 2005 series and the 32nd design released in the 50 State Quarters program. Now, the 50 State Quarters program began in 1999 and ran through 2008. The program commemorates each state in the order they received their statehood, with 5 designs being released each year, and each design really only being minted for about 10 weeks. So this particular coin here was minted at the Denver Mint in Colorado, as denoted by the capital D, you can see to the right there of George Washington's ponytail. And yeah, the Denver Mint actually produced 248,400,000 business strikes of this Minnesota design. And a business strike is just what we call a coin minted with the intent of circulation. So if you wanted to buy a business strike of this coin in mint state 65 condition, which is practically hot off the press, you could get one from a dealer or a coin shop and pay about $1 in retail. But if you want to buy the absolute best example of this coin, the San Francisco Mint has created 3,262,960 clad proof strikes for this design. And a clad proof of the Minnesota design retails for about $3. But if you're into stacking silver, more great news, because the San Francisco Mint has also created 1,678,649 silver proofs. Now, these are the top quality proof examples of this design, and they are minted from the original metal composition of our country's first quarters, which was 10% copper and 90% silver. 90% silver. Yeah, that's right. So this is why the silver proofs are some of my favorite coins to collect, because not only are you getting such a high quality, wonderful strike of the design, the silver content acts as a retainer for your investment. So if you wanted to get your hands on one of these pieces, you're looking for a retail price of around $8, but that price point's probably going to fluctuate based on the availability of the coin, as well as the spot price for silver on any given day. But enough talk. Let's get this coin under the microscope. Here we go. All right. So I'm just going to get out of the way here. We're going to start our journey here at the top of the coin. All right. So here you go. At the very top rim, you're going to see the name of the state. Here it is, Minnesota. So there you go. We're just kind of looking for any doubling. Double dies are a very common coin error, but we'll just kind of keep going here. And then below that, of course, you'll see 1858. That was the year Minnesota became a state. Let's just get some more room here. There we go. All right. So we're going to move down the rim now, the left side of the coin. And you're going to see the outline of Minnesota here in bas relief, bas relief. And inside of it, you have the state's nickname, Land of 10,000 Lakes. So just a really cool design, really. And we're going to cruise to the right here, and we're going to see a scene of one of those 10,000 lakes. And we've got these two fishermen here fishing in a motorboat. So pretty common scene out there in Minnesota, I presume. And then we're going to move up to this tree line here. Now, these are Norway pines. But as we go across the tree line, I want you to pay particular attention to any extra trees that appear to be floating. Now, these floating trees are a feature known as a double die, and it's an error or effect caused by a double stamping of the die. And in this particular one, the die actually even tilted a little, and which is why these trees tend to float. They're not 100% stamped on there. It doesn't look like we've got one of those here, but I'm going to leave a link in the description below to an earlier episode of Big Money where we go into more detail on that particular error coin variety. So as we move down to the lower part of this coin, we're going to see down here on the lower rim, this is the United States motto written in Latin. It's pronounced E pluribus unum, and in English that means one of many. And of course above that you see the year 2005. That is the release date for the series. And finally, moving up even farther, just above that, we come across the target of our hunt today, this bird. So this is the common loon, also known as the state bird of Minnesota. And the loon was declared Minnesota's official state bird in 1961. And that's probably because this the beautiful voice of the loon has become a distinct feature across the northern lakes of Minnesota. And at the peak of summer, it's estimated that there are around 12,000 of these birds that make Minnesota their home. So there you go. Thank you for joining me as we learned about the wonderful design on the back of this Minnesota state quarter. Those who created it, and even some fun facts about the state bird, the common loon. Now, if you're enjoying this show, please share this video across your social network. And let's see if we can't get the rest of your friends over to the channel and talk about coins. Maybe ask some coin-related questions and leave those in the comments below. Just have a great time. I love answering questions. Be sure to join us tomorrow as we do some more coin roll hunting. We're going to be looking for obsolete quarters, silver quarters, quarter errors and varieties, as well as continue our birding trip through the 50 state quarters. So until next time, until tomorrow, this has been Matthew, the Great Coin Roll Hunter, and I'm wishing you happy hunting.